Good afternoon, friends. The Finance Minister's team is with us today to answer your questions on the budget which was presented in Parliament earlier today. I will request the Finance Secretary to make a few opening remarks, after which you are welcome to put your questions to whichever officer you may like. I would request you to check that your cell phones are switched off or are in the silent mode before we begin. And I'd also like to state that inside the PIB hall we wouldn't be allowing any tic-tac. So if anybody has any questions, then kindly put them now while the press conference is on. Thank you very much.
Friends from the media, my colleagues from the Finance Ministry are all here with me. As you heard the FM during the budget speech, the previous year has been a very difficult year. Not only has it been a difficult external environment, but domestically also it has had its impact. The major negative impact was due to the exceptionally high increase in the crude oil prices, where from an assessment of $90 per barrel, it has gone up to about $125 a barrel with an average of around $115 a barrel. Consequently, the impact on our fisc was very significant. During June, the government had to forego an amount of 48,000 crores in terms of the indirect taxes on crude oil and petroleum products. And in spite of that, the subsidy on petroleum subsidy increased very significantly. It also had an impact on the fertilizer prices, and our fertilizer subsidy also enhanced significantly. Taking all that into account, the net impact has been that the fiscal deficit, which we had anticipated at 4.6%, would turn out close to about 5.9%. Consequently, in this budget, the first and foremost element was to try and see that the fiscal deficit needs to be brought under control, and the path towards fiscal consolidation must be clear, unambiguous, and realistic. So effort has been made to project the revenues appropriately. Clearly, if you have to bring the fiscal deficit into any form of control, you have to work on both aspects. One is that you seek to increase your revenue, and second is you seek to control expenditure or to redirect and monitor the expenditure in a way that the wasteful element of that is removed. Now that has been the first basic element. The second has been that growth during 11-12 has significantly slowed down. We are anticipating a growth of close to about 6.9%, and there is a need to step up growth. During the year, partly due to the high interest rates and the increasing costs, the immediate impact has been on our direct tax revenues, which have seen a very steep decline. The good thing during the current year has been that despite the 48,000 crores hit which was there on the petroleum product duties, the indirect tax growth has been close to the targeted 15%. Clearly, if we have to seek to increase revenue, effort has to be made on both sides, direct and indirect. Direct, there are certain elements where we have to move towards the DTC, where clearly one of the major aspects which has been done is to raise the lower slab from 1.8 lakhs to 2 lakhs and the slab of 5 to 8 lakhs to 5 to 10 lakhs. A few other concessions have also been given, as has been mentioned in the budget speech of the FM. But in addition, we have also tried to tighten provisions so that we are able to curb black money. We are able to curb specific areas where we anticipate that there is evasion. So that is through certain aspects of introduction of TDS or of tax collection at source. In the indirect taxes, as the FM had mentioned, the reduction at the time of stimulus was from a level of 14% of excise duties. Now that 14% had gone down to a level of 8%. That 2 years back in 10-11 had been increased to 10%, and the issue basically was that do you even think of increasing from 10 to 14 or 10 to 12? Again, the endeavor has been to move towards GST, and therefore a conscious view was taken to increase both service tax and excise duty from 10 to 12%. Our indirect tax measures have also been there to try and support growth. So industries or sectors which are currently under stress, a conscious effort has been made that how can you support those particular indirect taxes and try and ensure that there is greater investment and greater growth in those sectors. There are a large number of provisions in terms of from the banking sector in order to try and ensure that there is greater credit made available, and you would see that there is particularly direction towards infrastructure as well as for inclusion, including for agriculture. But behind both these elements of fiscal consolidation and growth has been the basic point that there is a need to control inflation, and it should not be that something of inflation gets out of control. Certain subsectors which have been sought to be tackled are, for example, our current account deficit, where again an effort has been made that where there has been a very steep increase in the import of gold and diamonds and colored gemstones, that there the rate has been sought to be increased so as to curb the tendency and to direct that money into financial savings. So while on one side it is for curbing the current account deficit, it is also to try and direct that towards financial savings. These are the basic elements, but I would urge all of you that you can direct your questions to any of our colleagues on the